Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday, the 20th of June. So, let's have a look at these markets, and firstly, let's look at what news events are due out today. If we get the right page, it'll be good. There we go. So, Tuesday, we've got monetary policy minutes. We've had those from Australia. That's about it. However, what's not shown on here is the whole team of ECB speakers. 9 o'clock, there's three ECB speakers. I assume there's something going on out there. Then 11:15, 11:30, 12:45. This sounds like one of their sort of open meetings. So, and then 14:45, 15:30. That will be just about the whole bundle, the whole lot of them speaking today. 16:45 we've got Fed Barr and Fed Williams speaking, so it's a day of speakers basically. Aside of that, we've already seen the Reserve Bank of Australia policy meeting minutes. They suggested that debates over rate hikes and rate freezes are finally balanced, so there we go. Nothing else to report on that. Let's go and look at the markets. Nothing that we can do about the speakers, although you may want to avoid the euro if there's you're worried about the speakers there. Talking to euro yesterday, put in a pivot swing there, looking a little bit on the softer side, bouncing this morning at the moment. Just looking at what's going on here, just consolidated really. It's sort of stepping itself down in consolidated phases. However, with all those speakers coming out today, goodness knows what's going to happen. As I say, almost best avoided. The pound not quite so soft. Yesterday, well, the previous day it was a bit better, and yesterday, yes, it was off, but coming off these quarterly pivots at the moment, just looking at where we are, this weekly pivot would be a great target if it was to start rolling back. Also a nice point of support, so either or, same sort of look as the euro has really, but as I say, slightly off this morning. Difficult to go either way there. I don't want to be selling into that, towards that pivot on the pound at the same time. It's not really a buyer's market for me at the moment. Dollar yen, well, you see the mess that's on this hourly. Now we worked the target from the wedge that was there, pushing back up. It's hanging there literally, and very messy at this stage. If anything, I'd rather be on the upside of this market, but there's no entry there at this stage. Aussie dollar, well, we saw a correction here overnight with the Reserve Bank of Australian data minutes there. That's a reaction to those minutes. Quite nice retracement there, sold beyond the pivot. We'll see. We might get a bounce, much more of a bounce off this 50 MA. It's pretty close, but that's quite a sell-off yesterday. Sell-off earlier on. So consolidated, lower highs, lower lows, changed the structure a little bit for now. Certainly broken the trend line that was running up the lows there. It really depends on what it does around this 50 at the moment. If it carries on breaking through, well, perhaps we've got a bigger correction to be in place. It's ironic because last week the commitment of traders report was showing a sort of a slight shift on the Aussie dollar. More positively, that is, after being months of bearishness. Anyway, US dollar CAD, well, it's bounced, had a bit of a bounce here yesterday. It's run back into one of its quarterly pivots there. The underside, it's again, this could well push into the weekly pivot there. Again, as with a lot of markets, when we're pulling back to these in such a trend, I would be looking for potential sell points. At the moment, it's quite choppy on the lower time frames here. Morning, Michael. So quite messy. New Zealand dollar, well, this followed the Aussie to an extent. It was selling off. It's always looked the weakest and still remains the weakest, and it's being sold. But again, we've seen a reaction off its 4-hourly 50 here, hourly 100. Bit of a reaction. We'll see how that develops, but overall, still lower highs, lower lows. That all fits in perfectly. Euro yen. Quick look at this. Well, hanging in there. Now this is the market that's 86% of retail traders are trading against at the moment. Morning, guys. They're trading against at the moment. It's as I said yesterday, for me, it's really just showing signs of potential upside. There it may have a correction here. We've got a divergence running over these highs. Just looking at exactly what's going on. However, there is a divergence probably running over the highs, but certainly not something I want to be trying to short into. Euro pound. Well, continuing to the downside overall, but short term, where we come up to the weekly pivot at the moment, but a higher low in there, so on the lower time frames you can see, which makes me a bit suspicious whether this is actually going to roll off there. If it had been a clean move up, it had been hopefully a clean move down, but this with the higher low in there is just showing that bit of structural difference. Euro CAD, looked at this yesterday, the flaggy movement, but it's not really gone too far. It gave us a lower high. It's bounced off the slightly softer Canadian dollar as opposed to the stronger euro. The euro is still obviously been floating down, but the Canadian side just softening there at this stage. Just looking at both sides of it, I can't see anything on the long side, and it's still hanging in on the short side. Pound pairs, well, really pound yen is all we're looking at here. Well, again, the yen pair is still soft. Again, I wouldn't be trying to get caught up, even though there's probably divergences or lower highs. Wouldn't be looking to do anything with that. I'd wait for the retrace and buy it. Aussie CAD, nice move off here on the it was broken the trend I was looking at through there. Typical. Gone. Beautiful move back into the pivot there. Flaggy sort of pattern, and off it's gone, but it's done. So no rides there. New Zealand dollar CAD, which one I'm short on at the moment. It's plodding. It gave us a lower high yesterday. It just pitched through, but very sort of slow movement. The Canadian dollar's not really holding up particularly well, and the New Zealand dollar's soft as well. So it's a fight to the who can be the softest out of the two at the moment. Okay, so not a great deal more there. There's a lot going against, or a lot of strong trends, which I would, particularly on the yen pairs, I would stay clear of. Temptation is to try and pick a top. That's where people are losing money consistently, so I'd steer clear of that. Looking at the other markets, let's have a look at gold and crude. Gold first. So gold still sitting in this horrible choppy price action at the moment. Excuse me, nothing I wouldn't even want to be trying to range trade this. It's sitting in the middle at the moment. So quite ugly price action overall. But there we go, best avoided. Crude, similar picture. Looking at this on the dailies, it's trying its best to do something here, but has got higher lows. I'm just looking from a 4-hour perspective. Maybe that will get a shift and continue to the upside, but pretty iffy. Looking around the markets then, in the CSI 300, the equity markets sold back again, still really on the bearish side of things. It's played both sides of it a little bit on the edge. Nikkei, well, continuation to the upside last night. Again, it's not a big enough retrace for me to do anything with this. Excuse me. So yeah, not a big enough retracement to be doing anything there, but yeah, it's going nicely to the upside. Nifty 50, see a bit of a correction on this, but again, in the bigger scheme of things, I wouldn't really want to be selling this. I know there'll be people selling these markets in the highs and thinking they're geniuses, but there we go. Now the Aussie 200, well, we've seen a bit of a turnaround here. The interest rate sort of battle is actually helping it, and correction has continued. Should be watching out if you're trading this through the Aussie sessions. Just watch these prior highs here, see if it reacts and pushes on, but it is looking a little bit more positive there for the Aussie 200. S&Ps stalling around. I mean, it's like a lot of the currencies at the moment, just stalling around highs. We're seeing that a lot of this retracement on the Dow Jones here, but we could see bigger corrections, but who wants to sell them when they're so close to tops, and they might just continue to push at any time, and the upward moves are quite solid. The Nasdaq here again, well, yesterday it managed to yet another push up there. Today it's off at the moment, but all things could change on that. The one thing that is dropping off is the DAX a little bit here. It's sort of dropping off more from the double top that was sitting there, looking just that bit softer, but again, actually the divergence between has been triggered to the downside, so maybe it's got more downside. With a lot of ECB speakers today, watch out, because that could give this quite a kicker as well. One word t'other, by the way. FTSE. So the FTSE, it's the lagging market at the moment, and if you really want to be selling on the equity markets, this looks like it's another one to sell along with the CSI 300. Lower highs, lower lows kicking through here, looking soft, not starting the day particularly well. Yeah, not looking good at all at the moment, looking quite bearish. Okay guys, that's pretty much it for me today. I wish you a great day's trading. Trade safely, and I'll catch you in the morning. Bye for now.